So let's talk about trauma, karma debt, karma lessons, and what that might have to do with your manifestations. So yesterday I was actually quite excited because I had gotten these messages from people saying that they were seeing the momentum. Like, okay, we're day 20, it's starting to work, I'm feeling good. Like, I'm seeing the manifestations. I kid y'all not, within an hour of me posting the video saying, congratulations, you are manifesting, I received 3 separate messages from people that were basically saying the total opposite. They were like, listen, girl, I'm trying these prompts. I'm actually doing it. I'm scripting. I'm visualizing. I'm looking in the mirror and, affirming to myself, and it's not working. And if this is something that you're resonating with, whether it be in just one area or multiple areas, this is where I really want to encourage you to take a bit of a deeper dive into your healing. Because sometimes it is deeper than just, I need to build up my self-concept. Sometimes you may be tied to karmic lessons, karmic debts, generational patterns. Some people call them curses. There may be other things that are going on a subconscious or spiritual level that you need to really learn and break free from. And then you will start to see yourself a lot more magnetized. One of the things that I learned about myself, for example, is that my name and date of birth was tied to a karmic lesson 6 and a karmic lesson 8. If you know anything about numerology, there is a formula that you can use that will help you identify what your karmic lessons may be. If you are tied to any sort of karmic debt, things like that. A quick Google search is all you need to do. I would just Google what are my karmic lesson numbers and, numerology. That should be good enough. Most of these calculators are free and not anything that you need to pay for. But one thing that I recognized that really drove home for me was that the karmic lesson number 8, that was tied to materials, that was tied to money. And one of the things that it stated that I needed to learn was how to properly manage money. I was transparent in a previous post of saying that I had a really hard time before with managing money. And when I learned that my name and my date of birth was actually tied to a karmic lesson 8, and I started to read about the descriptions of that, it made total sense, y'all. Like, I was always someone that was able to accumulate money. It was super, super easy for me to get money. It used to be very hard for me to manage it though. And I also learned that this was an issue that actually took place with some of my ancestors. So the more that I started to learn and realize that this was more than just, man, why isn't the money coming in? This was something that was truly like embedded into my DNA. That's where I really had to start getting serious about my healing work. I had to get serious about breaking those generational curses. So if you feel like you're having a hard time with actually manifesting something that you want, and it doesn't have to be money, that was just my issue. It could be money, it could be relationships, friendships, good health. It could be, like having stability. If this is something that you have found to be a consistent blockage, it's a consistent pattern that something is just not reaching, it's just not coming forth, I highly, highly encourage that you take a look to see, are you tied to any of those karmic lessons or debts? And once you identify what those are, then you can actually get a game plan that will assist you in being able to overcome those things, whether it be on a spiritual side, on a physical side, or maybe even a mixture of both. So go check out your karmic lessons, karmic debts, and then I suggest that you talk to your family members, talk to your elders if they are still alive and they're still with you. If they're not, that's where you want to sit in prayer and meditation. You can speak to your ancestors from that perspective and ask them, is there an issue? Is there a lineage here of blockages in this particular area? Did my ancestors have this same challenge? What was the challenge? Once you gain clarity, then you can get a game plan going. Once you execute your game plan and you start healing in that area, that's where you will find yourself a lot more magnetized to actually bring in the things that you want.